Yeah, well, hi there. It's me, the angry anime fan, the despair reviewer, who mostly, yes, nowadays only review Eden Zero. And this is the Eden Zero chapter 127. A lot of things are happening, and the first arc is truly implying it's going to end in a real tragic manner. The episode starts out with Klein strapped into the medical bay. It actually turns out that her mentality is crumbling so much that Sister's heal optimizer can't do it. And this actually does confirm that while Sister can heal injuries, she doesn't seem to be able to have the power to heal a mind because it's not easy to heal the mind. But Sister says that if I digitize her memories and search through them, I might figure something out, implying that maybe she can evolve through it. It's also likely that that's gonna become one of part of the power. So she strips and enters into a dive suit and wanna dive into the memories. We haven't seen this since we dived into Digitalis, and of course, which is a little bit against that, mostly because diving without a certain destination can become dangerous, apparently implying that when you dive into someone's memories, you experience those memories as well, and that can, well, affect things negatively. But it's pretty amazing that despite everything, Sister says that she made a promise that she would heal her. And as long as she is the life of Edens, no one will die on this ship. That's what she's saying. So hopefully that won't happen. However, back to the scenes about Arsenal and Hermit, along with the crazy Muller. Muller just keeps sprouting things that just makes him more and more dislikable. And actually also reveals an unexpected thing, though. It is actually turns out that the reason why he took the Ruford siblings is actually because apparently the Ruford family were patrons and the ones who actually sponsored the Muller Royal Laboratories. However, he also points out that they were not the ones that wanted to do the research that he did, as saying that as soon as he got arrested, they learned of the contents of his research and withdrew the financial report. This implies that Klein and Jin, well, likely were royalties or something like that, or at least had a lot of money. In a way, I'm a little bit disappointed about that. I hope they came from some kind of ninja clan, like, you know, the Lin Kuei from the Mortal Kombat, but nah, it's nothing like that. It is simply that they had well, a rich financial family, and Muller killed their mother and father, and then kidnapped the two children, and, well, experimented on them extremely horribly. Yeah, that is very, very dark, if you ask me. It is also the fact that uh, it is though through but through learning though exactly when Muller killed Mr. Ruthord, which was about 10 years ago, he manages to send that message to which who, when his sister dives, managed to find the the memory. And yeah, that memory scene is really horrible. I mean, we don't see the experiment, but just what we see is horrible. As we see Klein being tied up as is Jin, and we all ask ourselves what exactly happened to Klein's mind. Did Muller do some kind of research on it by removing the emotion? And this actually implies no, he did something far worse. And yes, I'm saying this is far worse because he mentally broke her. He didn't experiment broke her, but the reason why she has such panic attacks and can become dangerous is because, as we see, she saw her brother being torn limb from limb with a chainsaw that belonged to that sadistic Muller. And he says, I'm gonna take your brother's part piece by piece, and we'll see how long the sister can watch before her emotions break down entirely. This was nothing like surgically removing. No, this was living, watching horror. And eventually, her emotions snapped. That thing there has then been sitting on her and had been trying to suppress the nightmare she has seen. The nightmare of watching her brother being torn limb from limb and screaming likely in pain, all the while screaming for someone to help them. Yeah. Oh, Muller, you are not only sick, you are scum, and you deserve to die. A horrible death. And the fact that Arsenal, Wise actually reacts very strongly to this is actually something pretty amazing. I mean, yes, of course he would, because Wise is a good guy and knows true evil when he sees it. It's just, I mean, not only because he's a uh, hero figure with his Arsenal suit, but also because he is who he is. I mean, but what makes this pretty touching is that he wasn't keen on having Jin, Klein, or even Laguna on the ship because they worked for Draken, who killed his mother. But just hearing this thing is making him sympathize with them a little bit, as he actually tries to attack um, Dr. Miller. The attack seems to make effect, but Miller just cools down his head, as we also see that he has a canyon on his back as his genius. All the while keep on taunting, saying that despite himself and being turned into an Otek, he still has the gall to say that machines don't have emotions. I'm actually beginning to wonder why did you know why did Sigi even team up with this guy? Granted, Sigi became evil, and when you became evil, you team up with other evil, but still. This is so messed up. And it even gets even more messed up when it turns out that Dr. Miller just decides, hey, screw it all, and activates a doomsday system. Apparently, the planet itself has a self-destruct as beams of whatever shoots out. And Sinelmith actually explains that it's a doomsday system and they had to get off this planet. For some very, very, very strange reason, he shuts down when that happens. I mean, I don't know if he actually shuts down by dying or if he just shuts down himself, but he does. I really, really hope he's not shut down, because if he is, well, that's gonna be kind of bad. I really hoped Shiki would train under him so he can become more powerful. But as beams of light shows up, the others reach Shiki, and they all begin to head towards it. Foresta is doomed. It's now gonna be destroyed. But Shiki carries the shut down body of Senelith, intending to head back to the ship. Very likely implying that Foresta is now going to be completely destroyed. Having enough of all of this, Hermit begins the hacking of shutting down the OTEC, as Wise shows a new attack, Grandi Wing, which is obviously a homage to Grandine. He does manage to cut Muller in half, but it's not enough because he is an OTEC. It is actually, since he is an OTEC, it's very likely implying that he can actually live as long as some part of him that is still functioning is functioning. He shocks off the body of Arsenal, and since his Arsenal body is gone, then he is still move. Then he can't move due to the paralyze. It is that one moment though that something shocks him, as it actually turns out that someone's using water and connects to the lightning that is part of the OTEC of Dr. Miller, and that shocks him. Yes, Laguna has finally arrived. Of course, Wise don't want his help, but he still says that if you really want to help me, guide me towards his body with a rare thing. As Miller just keeps being an annoying, taunting villain, it's in that one moment that Wise grabs him using his Machina maker and says that I will mold you into something decent, but it's too late for that. So I'm just gonna have to scrap you. In that one moment, he uses Mortal Crash and successfully, with his Machina maker, breaks apart Muller's OTEC body. The only thing we see landing is his head. Although, to be fair, his head has his wide eyes open, so I don't think he is dead, to be sure. But maybe he is dead. Who knows? Who knows? I don't really know. As the other says that was brutal. It will make a hero suit cry. You can say that again. But Wise just says, sorry, but Arsenal is the champion of justice. Out of the suit, I'm very cool, says Hermit. It's a very sweet scene. They are truly the best of friends. You know, a lot of people ships them. I don't really like to ship them. And no, that is not because Hermit looks like a young girl while Wise just looks like a 20-year-old something, although he's likely only 17. It is more of the fact that Hermit is so many years older than Wise, and she won't age, but Wise will. It just doesn't work. Granted, however, Andrew was in love with Nadia, and she was also an immortal bot, so and that was a very sweet romance, so who knows? But I would actually prefer them to be platonic life partners of it all. But this fully shows just how dangerous Machina Maker can be. If he actually want to, Wise can actually completely rip apart a robotic body if he gets his mind to it. The fact that he did it on Muller is so satisfying to see. That, I mean, I'm not saying that Muller was a bad villain, but it was well, he was an annoying villain, but not an annoying villain because it was badly written. He was annoying because it was pure evil. He was purely a very messed up character, and just seeing him being locked off is pretty satisfying. Has someone actually written to me in the chat saying hello? Huh, I don't answer that. Sorry. But back to the situation at hand is the fact that Muller seems to be stopped now. I'm not really sure though if he is completely destroyed. You know, part of me actually wished he would flee from this scene. Yes, I don't like Muller because he's pure evil, but if you think about it, if he was broken apart and could actually somehow still flee, I don't think Siggy is going to welcome him back. I'm pretty sure he will destroy him. It's also the fact that now it's revealed that Muller was an arch nemesis not only to Hermit, but also to the Rutherford siblings. For everything, and you're telling me he's going to die from all this? Well, it's good revenge of it all, but it is also the part of the Jin and Klein should get their revenge on him. Granted, however, she may not want to. But yeah, it was a very horrible scene to see that. To see really that the reason why Klein has such weak mentality is not because it was surgically removed. It was because, well, she just saw terror with her own through heads. And who knows how young she was. That would mess up anyone. No wonder she had that chip. But I still wonder who actually placed that chip on her forehead if that manages to calm her down. Who placed it there? Well, when someone says hello, I'm not really sure. Are you? You can tell me. You can ask me, or explain to me what you think it is. What else more is there to say about that? Well, again, Xenomyth somehow seems to have shut down. I'm unaware if he's doing that because Foresta is self-destructing, or if he just decided to, well, cool down or so. Or maybe it has something to do with the fact that he's a very old robot and have to be in periods of time where he has to recharge or something like that. Who knows? But it seems that Foresta is self-destructing. Even though they have stopped Dr. Miller, they haven't yet stopped the satellite, so I'm not really sure they can stop this doomsday device. Or will they? I don't know. But if Foresta really is destroyed, damn, that will be a very depressing end. Because in the end, that will mean that technically the heroes didn't win this battle. And a wonderful, beautiful place was just destroyed. And who do we have to blame for this? Yes, we have Dr. Miller to blame, but we also have Siggy to blame for this. This is pure madness you have done, Siggy. What kind of evil have you fallen into? We still don't know that for sure. But can Sister truly heal Klein by seeing her memories? I sure hope we can. Give me your thoughts if you have any. Like and subscribe also.